Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
You are most welcome to PENDREAM TV, the only channel that brings you the best and latest updates in politics. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell for more updates, like and also share to other members to watch as well. You can also leave a comment after watching or send us a voice note on our WhatsApp number, which is 0277128777. Thank you. Johnnie, in the letter, they has also come out with his view, saying that he did not expect anything from the president rather than apologizing to the people of Ghana for saying what he wants to do but couldn't do it. Without much ado, I would like you to join me listening to what he said into detail. Thank you.
Thank you to our affiliates across the country, those who have been supporting us on podcast as well, and those who have been going on there to check out. We're still lying nicely at number 1. And we encourage you to share with your family and friends, those near and dear, those in Ghana and those abroad. Tell them to go on to the podcast, look for Johnnie's Bite. And if you go there, you see how we are trending already. You want to be part of the winning team. You want to be part of something that's trendy, that's nice, hot, and spicy. You want to be part of a real experience. You don't want to be part of something that's trailing behind. So please get on there. And for all our affiliates across the country, all the radio stations, all the other TV stations that pick the feed and to spread the word that Johnnie's Bite puts out there, we are happy that you are part of the winning team. You are happy that you are part of the scorecard movement. And we are indeed glad that you could join us. This morning, the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, will this morning fulfill a constitutional requirement that has been imposed on him by the 1992 Constitution, which has sustained the Fourth Republic, or which birthed the Fourth Republic and has sustained it thus far, because we believe in the 1992 Constitution, we believe in democracy, we believe in constitutionalism and all the issues that come with it. People have raised questions about, portions of the Constitution that must go or that must be changed, that must be amended, that must be checked so that we are not stuck in the old ways of doing things. People have raised questions, for example, about ex gratia, and sometimes when you look at the large numbers that you have, the large numbers of ministers that you have, you're thinking about ex gratia and how much it's going to cost the nation. You're thinking about the large numbers that we have for Council of State. They will give advice to the president, but the president is not enjoined to take the advice. You look at the large numbers of MMDCs, you look at the large numbers of regional ministers, you look at the large numbers of Article 71 holders in general, and you ask yourself whether or not, as a country as small as Ghana, 32 million people only, whether we have the financial muscle to be able to take care of all of these. So people have been asking questions about our Constitution, and they have been asking for us to take a second look at the Constitution. And it is a very, very imperative subject to be discussed, because we spent money to have a whole Constitutional Review Commission. We had people appear before, people brought their input, people brought their memorandum, people brought their, knowledge and wealth of experience to bear. We put together a whole document. It's gathering dust. We put a white paper on it. We are looking for a committed president who will implement those changes in the Constitution. And somebody whispered to me that, look, we may not be getting that change in very, very soon, because the people who are supposed to effect the change are the real beneficiaries of the system that everybody is complaining about. For example, you leave every single and big appointment to the president to appoint. I mean, and really, when family and friends are put there, we start complaining, because somebody will tell you that President Akufo-Addo, for example, said that I won't do family and friends. My predecessor is doing family and friends. If you look at the numbers of people who were in the previous government who were family and friends, and you look at the numbers of people here who are family and friends, you would see the clear difference. And then you want to juxtapose that to what Mr. Gabi Otridaku said on Star FM, that, their grandfather took time to take them to school and educate them very well. So the question is that, as insulting as that may sound to some of you, your parents and your grandparents didn't take you to school. Is that the question? Is that the analogy? Is that the understanding? Or if their parents took them to school, their grandparents took them to school and ensured that they were properly schooled, are they the only ones who are educated in the country who could fill the positions that are being offered? It's a conversation that we must have, because in the Constitution, we also talk about regional balance. In the Constitution, there's a conversation about regional balance. How balanced is the appointment that has been done by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo? So let's say we have 10 ministers, then we pick 9 of them from one side of the country, and then we just pick 1 or 2, and then we say, oh, yes, they are also parties, regional balance. Is that what the Constitution really talks about? So the Constitution needs a change. But one of the things that hasn't changed is the fact that the president will today appear before us and give us a message of the state of the nation. Today is Sona Day, as it's now being called. The first thing that one would expect the president to give to the people of Ghana will be a very, very humble apology from the president of the republic. A president has to properly and honestly and humbly and candidly apologize to the people of the Republic of Ghana. Because if you listen to him in 2012, close your eyes, and listen to him in 2016, and listen to him again in 2020, and look at all the things that are happening under him: corruption, style of governance, security issues, economic issues, agric, education. You look at the amalgamated issues, and you know that the president has not done right by the people. He has not done what he said he was going to do. I will make Accra the cleanest city in Africa in 4 years. We are in the 8th year. Accra is still smelling and stinking. Yet, we created a specific Ministry of Water and Sanitation for this purpose. Accra is still smelling. So for that alone, if not for anything at all, we deserve an apology from the president. But he won't give us an apology. We are a proud nation. We will not go to the IMF. This was after the last SONA, where he said the economy was on track, or is on track. The economy is on track. We are a proud nation. We will not go to the IMF. We were called Sambalat and Tobias. We were preached to from a Joshua and Caleb economic point of view. We were called names and insulted. Nehemiah, Jeremiah, all those biblical names. We were called all sorts of names. Today we are the IMF, bending and begging, weeping and kicking, and hoping that we'll be giving attention so that we can bounce back to be able to get balance of payment and all the other things that have gone wrong with our economy. If I were the president, I would have apologized. If I were the president, for all the atrocities that have happened in terms of our security, in terms of people who were murdered to elect the second term of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, in terms of the death of Ahmed Hussein Swali, in terms of the other murders that have happened under the watch of the head of our national security architecture and commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, and the perpetrators have now been brought to book, we deserve an apology. We deserve an apology for having invested so many millions into planting for food and jobs, and yet regrettably, even though the president mentioned to us in the 2021 SONA that because of planting for food and jobs, we are now a net exporter of food like tomatoes and onions and all of that, we still import them today. If you doubt me, go to our border towns. So funny it is that the president, when he finished making that statement that we are a net exporter of food, tomato importers had to cry out and say that we will stop importing tomatoes if you don't stop the thieves and the armed robbers who come to attack us, collect our monies, rape us, and steal from us. The president then detailed the national security minister to provide security for these market women and these importers, and they went ahead. So the irony is that president stands in parliament and says that we are a net exporter of food. Next step, the tomato seller says we will stop importing, and then the next step, president tasked the security minister to go and provide security, and then security minister comes back to say we have provided security, all is calm, so that they can continue importing. We deserve an apology. We deserve an apology because the president made a big case out of the price of a ball of kenke. I call it Kinomics. The president did Kinomics. He was complaining about the price of a ball of kenke being 1 cedi. Today, the price of a ball of kenke, even though we have planting for food and jobs, one of the main things, the staples that we planted and are planting for food and jobs is maize. Maize. Yet the price of a bag of maize is unthinkable to the extent that we sell now a ball of kenke for 5 cedis. We deserve an apology. We deserve an apology because free SHS is good. But if you listen to the teacher unions, you listen to the civil society organizations in education, you listen to the deep thinkers of society, you listen to the dissenting voices in society, they say we need to have a review. But because we played politics with the word review, where we equated review to mean cancellation, we are unable to have an honest conversation about free SHS. We are unable to do that. And we are miseducating and misraising the next generation of leaders. Children don't have textbooks in schools. Children are still sitting on the bare floor. Children are still using cement blocks to learn. Children the teachers don't have the benefit of their full laptops. So the issues are just that. So how does the child learn in school? Or how does the teacher instruct and help the child to learn? Because it's teaching and learning. One complements the other. They go hand in hand. There are no textbooks for the child to go home and refer to. Then the teacher cannot give them reading exercises because the standardized textbooks are not there in the schools. And we have run this system for about, 7 years? There was a curriculum that was running. We changed it hurriedly without knowing where to get the textbook. We deserve an apology for that. But will the president give us? He won't give us. Then the president goes ahead to make a personal pledge to God. That God, if you give me my second term, I will raise for you a cathedral. Eventually, the thing became a national cathedral. How it metamorphosed from a personal pledge to God to say thank you to become a national cathedral is another conversation. We'll put together our finest men of God. There's still pastor double identity in there. That has not been cleared. But the National Cathedral is still raising money. And we even ended up using money that we don't have without the necessary approvals from Parliament and sank it into the most expensive hole ever dug in the world. And when you look at that and you look at children sitting on the floor to learn, you look at that and you look at a pregnant woman delivering on the floor at Kolebu. You look at that and you look at people clamoring for clean water to drink. You look at that and you look at the hungry people, like children who are hungry in schools, and school feeding caterers are on strike. You look at that and you look at all the things that are going on, and you ask yourself, where lies our priority? This is the same man we listen to. I started sounding this alarm in 2019. I said, Mr. President, by the time your tenure is done, the people will start asking questions about what really your legacy is. Today, when you appoint people to join your campaign team, they want to run away from it. They want to disassociate from you. You owe the people of Ghana an apology, Mr. President. You do. You owe the people of Ghana an apology. You do. Because so far you have not shown that you have a grip on issues. And each time you are caught pants down, you literally come and say you were misled, you were misinformed, and that's it. No apology. So what are we teaching the younger ones? Never to say sorry, never to apologize, never to take responsibility, always shirk responsibility and push the blame on others. Because even in our economic quagmire that we find ourselves, we as a country have not accepted that we also made a mistake. It's either Russia or Ukraine or COVID or the opposition NDC or dissenting voices like Johnnie Hughes, etc. It is never the economic management team. It is never those who manage the economy. Never. So if you ask me what I'm expecting for the president today, a simple apology will do. I am sorry. But within the last 8 months that is left, I will do my best to make things right. That will win back the goodwill and the love that the people showed you in the 2016 elections, Mr. President. People are angry with you. But we are a peaceful nation, so nobody will try anything silly. But if you listen to your own party people, and if you want to get a clear indication of what it is, Go back to when Dr. Baumia, Kwabena Japan, Adainimo, Kojopoku, Jogate, Kennedy Japan. Go back to when they were campaigning to become flag bearer of the NPP. Listen to the things that they said. Engineer Kwabena Japan said, the Ghana Beyond Aid went back to the Jubilee House on a stretcher. They said things, and those were the wake-up call. Kennedy Japan says the faces that took us to IMF cannot be the same faces that you present to win an election. You can just remember them off-head. These are your own people internally. People wanted to lead the party. People wanted to take over from you. They said they won't take over from you. They are coming with a new vision because they think that things could have been done right. Alan Tremantin said that. If you want an honest terminal report of how you have conducted yourself in office, Mr. President, listen to your own people. Just play back those tapes, and you find the most honest convictions being spoken out there, not just for the sake of politics or to become flag bearer, but they were speaking. Even your own vice president said he will be his own man. He has departed from what is going on, and he will be his own man. Even your own vice president. Even your own vice president. There's a certain moral decadence that I've taken over. Find me the video of the schoolgirls. A certain moral decadence. And yesterday I told Ghanaians that, look, be careful of yourself and take care of your security. Look at the young girls.
Johnny's
Forgive me,
right.
viewer discretion. Look at them. They are
Johnny's right.
indulging in alcohol. These are secondary school children. At a funeral, they have normalized it. They are sitting in a group in public, in their
Johnny's
school
right.
uniforms. So where was the teacher who took them out? Did they break bounds? Are they day students? Has their school seen this? What punishment has been meted out to them? The moral decadence of society is what I'm talking about, Mr. President. And people say you are a disciplinarian. This should not have been, because this is not the first time. The first time it happened, the students were literally insulting you and cursing you because they couldn't pass their WASI, because they were giving a certain false hope that if they go and learn the past questions that was procured with millions of our Ghanaian cedis, they would pass the exam. I went through a secondary school in Ghana. We used to buy our own Akio, Lakpogbe, all those ones. We used to buy our own past questions. This is not good. This is not good. Now, that two requests that have been made of me. But first, play Mr. Kwame Pienim's video for me. Respected senior economist, play his video for me.
Johnny's right.
So we need the Atamel's character today more than ever. The man who will reach across, a man of peace and of courage. The process of acquiring political power is like going through putting mineral ore through fire, a furnace. If the character is good, it comes out shining. The character is bad, it worsens the character. It's no different from the process of losing power. When you lose control and you are in prison. Prison reveals if the character is good, you become better. Your character is bad, it becomes worse. I'm going to refer to two Dagomba sayings. They are not sayings. An old Dagomba person taught me. He said, if you dress up a donkey as a racehorse, on the day of the race, it will be revealed for the ass that it is. So the press and media can dress up leaders for us, but when they get in, we'll know. If their character.
That's the respected statesman, Mr. Kwame Pianim. He was also on the front bench when Engineer Kwabena Japan launched his campaign. Well, Engineer Kwabena Japan didn't get the nod to become flag bearer of the NPP, but Dr. Bawumia did. And on the front pages this morning, I'm learning that he is supporting Dr. Bawumia. In future, we'll explore what that means and what the position change means. But this is what he had to say at the launch of 10 years after the passing of Atta Mills. I'll play a final video for you, and this is a request. So Dr. Henry Kokofu of the EPA, the AMA, the Ablekuma Central Municipal Assembly, the Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council, outgoing Regional Minister Henry Korte, and all who matter, Interior Minister, everybody else. This is a video for you. This is a request, and they're asking for a scorecard. Just listen to it.
Good morning, Johnnie Hughes. I'm doing this video live from Latevie Okoshi, the Zoti Junction area. The junction that leads to the Bishop Bowers and the Kolebu. Johnnie Hughes, this is what goes on every night. Look, this smoke, we can't even stay in our rooms. You can't even stay around. That is what happens every night. We've reported to the police, we've reported to the assemblyman, whoever we have to see. Look, to no avail. Johnnie Hughes, we know your scorecard. We've been watching you and we are proud of you. We beg you, do something about it for us. It's the same way the traffic light is not working. The same junction, the same Zoti junction, Latevie Okoshi Zoti junction, the same place. The traffic light has been off for the past like 2 years now. 2 years. And the assemblyman has been here a million times. We've been calling him. This smoke has become a problem. Look, people are getting lung diseases around. Who are you to talk? Police, wherever. We've been to the assembly, nobody, to no avail. Johnnie Hughes, we know your scorecard. We beg you, please come to our aid. Please come to our aid, Johnnie Hughes. Thank you. May God bless you.
And that's a passionate appeal. They have tried the authorities. It isn't working. So they've brought it to Johnny's Bites, the Solution Center, the Scorecard Center. That's why I always ask the people who send you, when they send you, you ask them first, what is their scorecard? So this is an appeal I'm making to Dr. Henry Kokofu of the EPA and your team, the Regional Coordinating Council, Greater Accra Region. I am making a passionate appeal to the Regional Commander, Ghana Police Service. I'm making a proper appeal to the BNI or NIB, the National Security. I'm making a proper appeal to all who matter, the assemblies, AMA and Ablekuma Central. The Daily Post, the Daily Mail in the UK, they once named this place as the most toxic location in the world. We had to move onion sellers from just around those same precincts to Ajeng Kotoku because we said we're going to develop the area. People are inhaling carcinogens and we know the effect of it. And interestingly, it's happening next to our biggest tertiary hospital. It's happening next to the ICGC and it's happening next to the former Central Mosque. So the church, the mosque, and the filth in between. Meanwhile, the house of God is supposed to be the cleanest. So this is a passionate appeal because I have lived around that area before. It is very, very uncomfortable, especially for children. Show the video one last time. I will close with it. Please, Dr. Henry Kokofu, please. This should not be happening right in the city center. It should never happen. It should never, ever happen. This should never, ever happen. And if there's any scorecard, it is now your turn to show your scorecard. Good morning.
Thank you for staying tuned. PENDREAM TV really appreciate your time. Please, if today being the first time here, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell for more updates, like and also share to other members to watch as well. Thank you.
PENDREAM TV. Now, so far so good. say open online portal e Ghana nipa share nipa follow nipa comment here to my best of knowledge without any biases. Pendream TV.